Hey, what's going on? My name is Neil, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through the differences between paid growth and organic growth when it comes to YouTube, and which one should your business focus on. Should your business be worrying about paid advertising and learning that side of YouTube, or should they worry about growing a channel and garnering an audience? We'll get into all of this plus more, so stay tuned. And before we get into this video, I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're putting out a ton of content, so we would really appreciate it if you were subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on anything. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So, organic growth on YouTube. What do I mean by this? Well, simply put, organic growth is growing a YouTube channel, organically garnering an audience, and then turning that audience into paying customers. Kind of similar to what we're doing with this channel here. We put out a ton of free content every week, and we hope that some of you guys love this content and end up working with us in the future. So this is basically the gist of what organic growth on YouTube is. Now, there are a ton of pros for this, and I'll get into some of those as well as some cons. Let's talk about the pros first. Well, one of the best things about organic growth on YouTube is that it is very affordable. It doesn't take a lot of startup costs, right? All you need is a camera and access to YouTube. That's basically it. You can obviously go into higher end production, but if you go look back even to this channel, not everything has to be highly produced for you to be successful on YouTube. There's tons of channels that are only putting out iPhone videos that are making a ton of money, not just from AdSense, but from customers that come from their YouTube audience. And for that reason alone, organic growth on YouTube is amazing. Now, another reason why organic growth and growing your channels organically is pretty powerful is because once you garner that audience, right, you can keep them for life, you can remarket to them, and the cost to do that is pretty low. So even if you have paid offerings, what you can do is set up remarketing campaigns to those audiences, and because they already know you, they're in your ecosystem, targeting them will be very inexpensive. And finally, with growing a YouTube channel and growing your business through organic content, what you'll do on YouTube is basically grow a brand, which is actually pretty valuable in itself. You can then go later on to sell the brand or sell the channel itself, but you are building something that's there to last. However, as awesome as organic growth on YouTube is, there are some drawbacks, and there are a couple big pieces that really you should consider before spending all of your money into growing your YouTube channel. The first is that it is very time intensive. It takes a lot of time to properly build out a YouTube channel. There are no overnight successes. Even the best YouTubers with millions of followers did not do it overnight. You have to be consistent. You have to put out content every single week, every single month for years, sometimes multiple years, in order to get any sort of real recognition. And the truth of the matter is that it has gotten incredibly difficult to break through in this cloud of other creators, right? And with each passing year, it gets more and more difficult. You have to stand out a bit more. So, although it is very cheap to get started, the barrier of entry being so low allows for everybody to do this. So you're gonna have to stand out a lot more and keep at it for a lot longer to see any sort of success with it. The other thing to take into account is with organic growth is that you actually have to keep doing it, right? You can't just take time off. The way the YouTube algorithms work, they reward new content. So if you're a person who only wants to do YouTube for a year and then, forget about it, that's not going to go well in terms of growing your business. You'll probably grow your business for a year, maybe 2 years, but once you stop uploading, you will stop seeing growth. Unfortunately, that is how YouTube works. So one of the drawbacks about organic content and organic growth is you have to stay on that hamster wheel. You have to be constantly producing content. But for somebody that's starting off, that really doesn't have access to a lot of resources, that doesn't want to spend a lot of money, this is a great way to get started. Obviously, access to customers is insanely cheap, so it is a great method for beginners or even businesses that are looking for an alternative source that is very cost effective. So let's get into paid advertising, and we're talking about YouTube ads here, and what are some of the drawbacks with YouTube ads? Well, obviously one of the things most people talk about when it comes to paid advertising in general is that it's very expensive. You need to be spending money to make money, and this is the same case for YouTube ads. YouTube ads do require a lot of money, especially in the testing phase, and sometimes if you don't get that ROI, you will be burning through a lot of cash. Now, this is dependent business to business, person to person, but expect to be spending thousands of dollars figuring this stuff out. Unfortunately, with regards to YouTube ads, it is very difficult to do ads for a product or service that doesn't have its product market fit solved. Because at the end of the day, even if your marketing is great, but your product or service sucks and nobody wants to buy it, you will not make YouTube ads work. So in order to make YouTube ads work, the two big limitations that you have to overcome is the initial testing cash as well as product market fit. But once you have those two things figured out, YouTube ads are amazing and one of the best ways to grow your business. Here's why. So YouTube ads are extremely scalable when you can figure them out. You can literally take campaigns from $0 a day in spend to over $50,000 a day in spend. So you can really spend a lot of money on YouTube very quickly if you know what you're doing. That means your growth of your business can be exponential. And what we've seen with our clients is that the ROI on YouTube ads is actually much better than some of the other ad platforms. And this is even better than some of the other investment opportunities out there. If you're a business that's looking to park its cash or, put some growth seed funding, YouTube ads is probably one of the best areas for a great ROI. And for that reason, paid ads growth is a great avenue. Another reason why it's so awesome is because you are able to control that growth. With paid ads, it's a lot more in your control. You can turn up the growth or turn it down based on your spend. Every single account, the growth is correlated with how much you spend. So if you are going through growing pains, maybe you can't order inventory, you can't fulfill your customers, you can slow down the growth. That's not the same for organic growth, right? It's usually on its own little path. But with paid ads, say if you want to pause for a month, you can totally do that with paid ads, which is great control. You can also do the inverse. If you want to grow exponentially, you can do that with a click of a button, and overnight you could have instrumental growth, which makes YouTube ads really powerful. So what do you choose for your business? Well, what I recommend is a combination of both, especially if you're a smaller business. Now, organic will take a lot of time, but it does come with a ton of fruits. So if you have the time to invest in it or don't have the cash to spend on paid ads, that's definitely a great avenue. But I will say, if you can afford paid ads, definitely spend the time and money to figure them out, because there's no other way that you can grow as fast than you can with paid ads. I hope you guys now understand some of the differences and the key benefits and cons of each paid ad growth and organic growth, and hopefully you can implement both in your businesses and you got a lot out of this video. With that, if you guys could do me a huge favor and like this video, I know the entire team will appreciate it. I'll appreciate it. And that would be great. For now, this is it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.